In the summer of 2015, 7 student teams from the University of Michigan School of Information traveled to different regions of India. Their goal was to help nonprofit organizations solve difficult information-related problems. The teams worked closely with their host organizations and mentors. The students addressed needs and developed workable and sustainable long-term solutions. They addressed the real problems their hosts faced in areas such as healthcare, urban informatics, and education. In Bangalore, Varina Gadahun and her team worked with the Center for Internet and Society on their project EduKitchen.
My project had to do with education. It was much more a collaboration with the people who had proposed the project. We're helping them to advance their idea. They had a pretty fascinating, abstract concept, and we were there to just help them push that concept along.
Using Moodle, an open source learning system, the UMSI students created a non-traditional learning space on the web for those who want to pursue their education outside the classroom.
What's appealing about all of the organizations that we're working with is that they are fundamentally about improving people's lives, and they're interested in using the tools of technology to do that.
Several miles away, Tom Bergman's group collaborated with Nightingale's Medical Trust. Their project, ElderCare, is a valuable resource that assists elders who seek health information.
Right now in India, they haven't really had a need for, say, geriatric services before. It's a problem because there's this rising population of senior citizens and there's not really good health resources there in place for them, either information resources or physical centers they can go to that really specialize in caring for the elderly. What could we build for them to help connect them to those resources? We wanted health resources. We wanted them to be able to find physical locations where they could go get help and find information on that. The development side of it, getting all that stuff linked together, was definitely a challenge, but we got it all done in the end.
Meanwhile, Jackie Wolf and her group worked on their own tech solutions for mobile maternal child healthcare issues in Kolkata.
So we were working with iCure, which is a healthcare organization, and they were really wanting to serve community healthcare workers. They're a resource that the community has to kind of understand what their healthcare needs are. But the problem with that is because they're living in these communities that are so far away, they don't have access to a lot of the resources that you do if you're living in a more centralized location. We really wanted to enter into that space along with iCure and understand how you could kind of help their process move along. Understanding how can you help them not replicate the work they're doing. So they're going and they're interviewing the women, they're taking all of the vitals, and they're writing it down on this paper, and then they have to go and actually upload it all onto the WIM server, which is iCure's own proprietary software system. And that's how they're then gathering the data, entering the data, and then analyzing the data. And so we wanted to see if we could skip the first step, which was having to write down all the data and actually just collect it on a tablet. And so that's what we were trying to intervene in.
What first attracted me to this program was that in this model, the projects are being proposed by the people from the country that we're working with. First of all, the identification of the problem and then the possible solution is being proposed by the people that it will help. In that way, I think this model would be transferable to other countries, other contexts than India.